Honorable Minister Naledi Pandor, Minister of International Relations and Cooperation of the Republic of South Africa, Honorable Deputy Minister Mr. Alvin Botes, Deputy Minister of International Relations and Cooperation, Ambassador Nonseba Lossi, Acting Director General and Chief of State Protocol of South Africa, Deputy Director General Ambassador Maud Dlomo, all our dear colleagues at the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, honorable ambassadors, high commissioners, our interlocutors, friends and partners at different South African institutions, at different think tanks and media institutions here in South Africa. Our dear friends, representatives of Southern Africa Georgia Chamber of Commerce, Georgia's honorary consuls in South Africa as well as in other countries of Southern Africa, my dear compatriots, Georgians residing here in South Africa and Southern Africa, I welcome you all. Gamarjuba. Today, on 26th of May, we in Georgia celebrate our Independence Day. And this year of 2021, we also mark 30 years of the restoration of the independence of Georgia, restoration of Georgia's democratic republic. We Georgians are proud to have the history of statehood dating back to thousands of years in the form of a kingdom. But in 1918, we managed to establish our first democratic republic. That republic was short-lived though, as in 3 years' time, Georgia was attacked by Red armies and we were involuntarily incorporated into Soviet Union. 70 years after, back in 30 years ago, we managed on 9 of April 1991 to re-establish our independence and restore our democratic republic. And since then we commenced our project of strengthening our democracy and building up the country, democratic country, which would offer life deserving to all Georgian citizens. After 30 years, we are proud to have created foundations for such a parliamentary democratic republic, foundations for market open economy, and foundations for the society where all citizens enjoy freedoms and human rights and are focused on developing themselves and creating welfare for themselves and their families. For us, for Georgians, to succeed and to continue to be successful in our project of building up strong and democratic state, it has been always critically important to interact with nations globally and to forge our partnerships and friendships with international community. Georgia's foreign policy is driven by several priorities. One of them is European integration, that is eventual integration with European Union. Second priority is our integration with North Atlantic Treaty Organization, with NATO. And also very important priorities that we have is forging global partnerships, developing political, economic, cultural ties with all nations around the globe on every continent. And we are proud here in Georgian Embassy in Pretoria to have ourselves made a humble contribution in developing our ties with South Africa and with African nations. Last several years have seen very robust steps forward in our interactions with African peers, with South Africa, be it political dialogue or interaction in the field of economic relations, cultural relations, links between educational institutions. Just recently, in beginning of May, we have already had the fourth round of senior officials level political consultations between Georgia and South Africa, and we are very optimistic in our focus and in our efforts that soon we shall see more and more benefits for Georgia as well as for South Africa coming out of our diplomatic relations between our two countries and our two nations. At these difficult times, Georgia, we have two major challenges. First challenge is our occupied territories. Regrettably, two parts of Georgia, that is the region of Abkhazia and the region of so-called South Ossetia, it is the region of Tskhinvali, Georgian region. All these two regions are regrettably currently occupied illegally by Russian troops. And our citizens, hundreds of thousands of them, mostly ethnic Georgians, have been ethnically cleansed from those territories. On daily basis, we witness erection of artificial borders along this so-called occupation line. And regrettably, we also witness kidnappings and killings of our citizens. We are focused and try to resolve this problem and this conflict by peaceful means. We are committed to only peaceful resolution of this conflict, and in this effort we are in constant dialogue with the international community and with our international partners. For us to succeed in this very difficult endeavor, it is critically important for us to continue to enjoy solidarity around Georgia, around principles of sovereignty and territorial integrity. These principles, as you are all aware, are enshrined in the United Nations Charter and are key principles of international law. And I thank you all, our African peers, for continued respect of Georgia's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and your encouragement in our effort to resolve this type of biggest challenge that we have by peaceful means. Second challenge that Georgia faces, as much as rest of international community, it is COVID-19 global pandemic. I want to use this opportunity and extend words of condolences to those who have lost loved ones in these very difficult, trying times, and I wish you health, wish you fast recovery from this global pandemic, and hopefully sooner rather than later we shall be able to meet again, to embrace each other once again, and we also at the Embassy of Georgia in Pretoria hopefully will be able to host you at reception, at physical interaction, and together we shall raise toast to our joint prosperity and friendship. Obviously, we shall do it with fine Georgian wine. I thank you all, and hopefully today you will enjoy this virtual program and cultural program that we have prepared for you. Thank you very much for being part of our celebration today.
As chairperson and on behalf of the Southern Africa Georgia Chamber of Commerce, I congratulate Georgians and all friends of Georgia with the 26th of May, the Independence Day of Georgia. And I congratulate you also with 30 years of the restoration of the independence of Georgia that you mark this year, 2021. We wish Georgia to overcome all its challenges, including those related to the COVID-19 pandemic, and soon to continue your economic growth and building prosperity with the same vigor as before. Many of my colleagues from the Chamber and I have been to Georgia on several occasions, and we are proud to be linked to Georgia and Georgians, one of the most friendly and resilient nations. Dear Georgians, you should know that amongst your numerous friends globally, you also have many friends here in South Africa and in countries of the Southern African region. We, the members of the Southern Africa Georgia Chamber of Commerce, are among them. I appeal to my fellow South Africans and other friends, especially those who have not yet been to Georgia. This is truly the country you should visit first as soon as the pandemic is over. Enjoyable times await you as tourists, as well as lucrative business opportunities in Georgia, the country that ranks number 7 globally in the ease of doing business. We at Southern Africa Georgia Chamber of Commerce, even during pandemic here, have been busy with our strategic dialogue with business stakeholders in South Africa and Georgia to unlock new business opportunities, reignite bilateral trade and promote investments between Georgia and Southern Africa. In addition to business links, we have been focusing on the promotion of soft projects like winemaker exchange program and cooperation in the field of rugby, which have proven to be an outstanding way of boosting people-to-people link between our nations. We are determined to continue our effort to this end with many more similar projects to come. Once again, I congratulate you on Georgia's Independence Day. Long live Georgia. May God bless Georgia. Thank you.
In late 1960s, a graduate student at Caltech University, Gary Flandro, came up with an interesting idea. He calculated that if NASA launched spacecraft in late 70s, it could fly closely to Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn and take pictures. Of course, everyone liked an idea, and the project Voyager was born. Since my early childhood, I've heard this incredible story about this Georgian song somehow ending up in space. Well, in Soviet Union, we didn't really have a freedom of, getting information about NASA and the United States. We didn't have any Google or anything then. But that little information stuck very hard in my mind, and I always wanted to find out how, in the middle of 70s, during this crazy Soviet regime, this little Georgian song ended up in space.
When I got to be project manager, I called up Carl Sagan, and because he had been the one who had done the original one on Pioneer 10 or 11, I don't remember which, and I asked him if he'd be interested in putting something together that we could put on the Voyager spacecraft, and he said, of course, yes. And I said, okay, well, send me a proposal for what you want to do and how you would go about doing it. A month or so later, he came back with this idea of putting a record on.
The golden record would include some pictures from around the planet, information about the mankind, and 27 musical examples from all over the world. The artistic director of the project was Carl Sagan's wife, Miss Andrienne. And when I contacted her several years ago, she told me an amazing story that I would like to share with you today.
In January of 1977, Carl Sagan came to me and to Timothy Ferris and asked us to join the Voyager Interstellar Message Project. And the possibility of conferring a kind of immortality on music from the world's greatest traditions was an overwhelming and to us immediately a kind of sacred task. Brilliant editor at Rolling Stone magazine, Jonathan Cott, said, "You must go to see Alan Lomax, the great ethnomusicologist." Alan Lomax was a very grumpy, crusty kind of person, and he looked at us like we were both crazy. Wait, this is going to be on an interstellar spacecraft? He just was. It took a while for us to overcome his skepticism. And I asked him to tell us the greatest music from around the world that really inspires you. One of the first pieces that he played for us was Chakrula. And at the end of it, he looked at us triumphantly because he knew that he had completely scored a home run. And we both said, this has to be on the record.
Yes, Chakrula had no problem. Everyone loved it. Everyone directly said, of course, this should be on a golden record. But somehow, and that's the funny part about how, Moscow found out about all that. And in 3 or 4 days, NASA received a letter from the Embassy of Soviet Union in Washington saying that Georgia's not an independent country, it's part of the Soviet Union, so we'll decide what to send from our country to this great project. And they have even nominated Russian song, well, the Soviet Russian song, Подмосковные вечера, which in translation means Moscow nights. The entire Soviet regime was against this little song, a Georgian song. And the best part about all this is Georgians had no idea what was going on at NASA.
It felt like the entire culture of Georgia was in those sounds. It's a tribute to Carl's character and his belief in this piece of music and its power, that it was included on the final version of the record, No Midnight in Moscow. And that's one of the reasons all these decades later I'm so proud of the Voyager record, because if it's to speak for us for 1,000 million years, then it should speak truthfully about what was best in us, what was the greatest thing about us.
Hello everyone! Happy Independence Day of Georgia! I'm so incredibly honored and happy to be part of these celebrations in South Africa for this very special day for us Georgians. I have visited South Africa many times before, and my heart was always filled with joy and happiness and all the positive feelings that I might have experienced during my stay there. I have played concerts, I have traveled the country, and I can say that it's indeed one of my very, very favorite places to be. For today, for the guests of Georgian Embassy in Pretoria and attending audiences, I would like to play a little piece by Rossini, which is called Petit Caprice in style of Offenbach. I hope that you will enjoy this piece, and I hope very much that you will remain healthy, happy, and hopefully we will go through this soon and we will get back to our normal lives. Until then, take care, and I'm sending you my love.
Rossini would have loved that. Such perfectly clean playing of one of the sins of his old age, his Petit Caprice in the style of Offenbach. Mariam Batsashvili's encore at the end of this concert here at Wigmore Hall.
Hello everyone, I am Sophie Lejava, Georgian pianist and actress. I am thrilled to be part of today's celebration of the Independence Day of Georgia, 26 May, and the 30 years of the restoration of Georgia's independence. I greet Embassy of Georgia to South Africa, Ambassador Tvali and embassy staff, ambassadors and high commissioners, all South Africans and friends who participate in this virtual event today. I have unforgettable memories from 2018 when I performed in South Africa, Johannesburg and Pretoria. Loved South Africa and South Africans. I think it was most wonderful, most amazing and exciting experience for me, and I hope and wish that soon I will be able to perform live there. But of course, after hopefully COVID-19 pandemic is over. I wish health and strength to all of you, and today on this important day I want to perform for you Valse by Chopin. I hope you enjoy it and have a great day. Bye!
Greetings. My name is David Aldashvili, Georgian pianist and a TV presenter, and I'm so happy to be joining this wonderful event with you. Even though virtually, I'm still very glad to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of the restoration of the independence of Georgia. I loved every single moment when I visited South Africa. I fell in love with the country, and I cannot wait to visit the wonderful, beautiful, amazing place once again as soon as this madness pandemic is over. I'm so happy and honored to have a wonderful representative of my country, His Excellency Ambassador Bekat Vali, working tirelessly to present our country in your beautiful environment with his wonderful team, and special greetings to you, Mr. Ambassador. I will now perform a piece that I actually performed while I was in South Africa, Revas Lagizes from Totokata, and again, sending you lots of love and cannot wait to see you very soon.